We're restoring law and order to our cities and towns, including our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where you can now go out to have dinner. That's right, here we are. You can now, what is the difference? I was at a deal today, and I'm in the car, and I said, ride me right through Washington. I want to go right. The parks were groomed. There was no trash. There were no tents. We had no tent cities. It was clean. It's going to look even better in 6 months to a year. We're going to change the medians that are rotted. We're going to get rid of the little potholes. But even it looked, Susie, it looked beautiful. It was so different. Nice weather, nice day. The grass was growing. Some of the grass I'm not going to have to change. I thought I was going to replace the grass all over. This grass looked good. It looked so good. And, you know, we actually had soldiers. You saw them. We didn't tell them to do this because we don't want to tell them. They were picking up trash. Did you see that? But what we've done in Washington, we're so proud of it. We took it over. It was, and you know what? I don't want to insult anybody, but it was horrible. One of the worst. It was horrible. And within 12 days, it was a safe city. And within 22 days, it was really safe. And a couple of days later, I actually went and walked right down the middle of the street. And I had no fear because we took 1,600 criminals, hardened criminals, people, I think they were born to be criminals. These were seriously bad people. We got them out of here. We brought them back to different countries, got them the hell out. They can't come back. We're never letting them come back. But we're restoring law and order. Now we're going to Memphis, Tennessee. It's another place that's right. Are you happy about that? How about the liberals, though? You know, they call themselves progressives. I think liberal is a better term. Progressive is such a beautiful word. But, now they say we're progressive. They're actually regressive. This is not progressive. But how about the liberals where they're going, we don't want to have military people in town. If you had your choice of not having military people, but being shot, drugged out, beat to hell, and raped as a woman, would you rather have a couple of soldiers around so that doesn't happen? I think so. I think so. And these soldiers are not necessarily politically correct. They're very strong people, and we want very strong soldiers. I think that's okay to say. You know, we have a very different country than we had 2 years ago. We have a country that wants to see results. We have a country that's now based on merit, thanks to the Supreme Court. We have a country that's based on merit. And our country was built on merit. It wasn't built on woke nonsense. And we now have soldiers that are soldiers, and we have people that everything is based on merit, including getting into a college. If you have good marks, you get in. If you don't have good marks, you don't get in. We're restoring law and order to our cities and towns at levels that nobody's ever seen, and wait till you see. And I must say our next one is a place called Chicago. We're going to go into Chicago. And we've already, the FBI's been there for 6 months and just getting prepared. And just the fact that they've been there for a little while, we've got it down a little bit. But it's going to come down a whole lot. Chicago is going to be a very safe city. I was with the head of the Union Pacific Railroad, great guy. He started off as a low-level railroader, as he called himself, and he ends up being chairman of the company. And I said, what do you think? Tell me. He was in my office on something, and I said, what do you think? What are the best cities? He said, sir, you have to save Chicago. It's a great city. And the way he said it, you have to save Chicago. I mean, it was terrible because we were going to wait a little longer. We have a governor that he thinks if 11 people get shot over a weekend, that's good. Okay? He thinks, and die. 11 people last weekend murdered over the weekend. 32 were shot. Over 100 were shot at. People don't even talk about that. And then we have a governor that says, we're doing well. We don't need the military. No, they need it. We're going to clean up Chicago. We're going to start that pretty soon, but we're going to do Memphis. We're doing them one by one. And we're not going to let it go back either. We're not going to just leave and let it go back. We're going to make sure they stay proper. But I'm so happy that, most of you are in Washington a lot. That's why you're here. But Washington, D.C. is a safe, incredible, safe place. It went from one of the most violent, unsafe cities in the country where, on average, they were losing a person. They were having 1, 2, 3 people get shot every weekend. People come in from Iowa, they come in from Indiana, their kids are come, and the kid ends up being shot, and they send him back in a coffin. That's not happening anymore. We have a safe city. The scum is gone, and I'll tell you, it's going to get, I don't know how much better it can get. They said, we're down 87% crime. I said, really? Who are the 13%? Tell me. Nobody can find the 13%. No, you go and have dinner. The restaurants now they were closing up. Very few people went to restaurants because even to go to the restaurant was dangerous because guys would walk in with guns and rob everybody. It ain't happening anymore. You have a safe city, 100% safe city. I want to thank the National Guard and all of those federal law enforcement people that have surged Washington and now surging Memphis right now as we speak. By the way, we're getting calls over the internet. We're getting statements. Sir, thank you so much. I live in Memphis. It's so beautiful. There's so many people outside. Everybody's cheering the soldiers. They're cheering. Thank you so much, sir. But we're making America safe again.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.